Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how you can turn up the volume or turn down the volume through audio control using your AirPods. Now, to start things off, I'll just walk through natively how it's built into the device, how you can do this, and then at the end of the video, I'll show you a different way that you can go about doing it if you want to change the settings. Now, this is a feature that isn't going to work if you have an Android smartphone that you're hooked into because you have to summon Siri for it to work. So I'll start with the newer devices, those being the AirPods Pro, as well as the AirPods second generation. To summon Siri, all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri," wait for Siri to listen, and then at that point, you can ask Siri to either turn up the volume or turn down the volume. If you have the AirPods first generation, though, you summon Siri by default by double tapping on the AirPod itself, wait for Siri to listen, and then ask Siri at that point to either turn up the volume or turn down the volume. So that's how it's natively built into these different AirPods that you can purchase. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, if you have the newer generation, so the AirPods second generation or the AirPods Pro, well, I'd rather summon Siri by tapping instead of having to say, "Hey Siri." Well, you're in luck because you can go into your settings and change it so it does just that. So if you want to change these settings, you just go in and open up your AirPods case. On your iPhone, go to Settings, click Bluetooth, and then click on this little icon next to your AirPods in the list of devices. Now, at that point, when you're in your AirPods settings, if you have the AirPods Pro, you can change what the force sensor does for either the left or the right AirPod, and you can change what a double tap does if you're using the AirPods second generation, for instance. And again, you can change that for either the left or the right AirPod. And then the settings that you can change at that point, with the double tap on the AirPods second generation, you can have Siri be summoned at that point. And again, you have the choice what this double tap does on either of the AirPods. So for instance, you could have summon Siri being a double tap on your left AirPod and then maybe having the right AirPod do something like play or pause your audio content. And with the AirPods Pro, it's going to be changing what that force sensor does. So you can change it, again, either the left or right AirPod to summon Siri with touching the force sensor. So that's another way you can go about summoning Siri and then asking Siri to either turn up the volume or turn down the volume, the audio settings on whatever you are listening to. So that's how you can go about going in and changing the settings. Again, if you want to summon Siri without having to actually say, "Hey Siri." So those are all the different ways you can go about changing the volume utilizing your AirPods. And again, you're going to have to be hooked into an iPhone or an Apple device for this to work. It isn't going to work on an Android smartphone because you have to summon Siri for it to take effect. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll catch you guys back here next time.